Okay, this is a new student, so we're going to be a little rough on him here. Get him started right. We'd like to see his spine tilt a little bit away from the target, more on the red line. I'd like to see his forward shoulder on the red line, that much of a tilt. Notice how far the right hand is below the left hand. I'd like to see the shoulder and the tilt kind of compensate for that, to make that happen. Also, when we set up square like this, we have a tendency to look at the ball rather than be square to the target line. Well, let's just go ahead and watch the takeaway in slow motion. Notice the sway off the line. Instead of just turning in place, he's swaying off the line. He's moved the center of his swing several inches back, maybe as much as a foot. If we were to draw a straight line down through his head, you can see how far behind the ball he's gotten. Well, we've got to make sure we stay centered on our swing. We turn around a solid pivot point. I'd like to see him keep the left heel on the ground a little bit, unless that restricts his movement too far. We're not looking for great distance here. What we're looking for is making solid contact, sending the ball down the middle where we can find it, hit it again, make a chip and a putt, and walk away with a good score. The hands are real low here. You can see how the hands have gotten way below the shoulder. I'd like to see the hands more up about in here. So he's turning up and away, or away and up, I suppose is the right way to say that. Now let's watch the downswing here, see what happens. Never gets his hands up very high at all, very low. Now he stood straight up. Now he's going to start lunging towards the golf ball. He's passing where he was to start with, well past it now. Now he's coming down on the ball. There's no way at this point to have an ascending blow on the driver. The driver is one of the keys to the driver is to hit the ball on the way up, not on the way down. We want to have a nice launch angle. We want to have minimal spin. If we're hitting down on the ball like this, we're going to create too much spin. The ball is going to veer in all kinds of different directions. And if it does happen to go straight, it's going to have so much backspin, it'll just climb into the air and fall straight down. So let's watch this. He's hitting down on the ball, right on through. Now notice what happens. Look, take a look at his trail foot. Instead of the right knee shifting or the hips shifting that way, what's going to happen is the left heel is going to come off the ground and spin around behind him. There's no way to do a weight shift that way. Now, let's clear everything out of the way. What we see now is the trail hand, or right hand in his case, is well below the golf shaft. He hasn't released the head or the toe of the club over. At this point now, I want to see the left elbow, that trail elbow, down in front of his body, down off the lead hip, pointing to the ground. I should be able to see the fingers in his glove hand. As we rotate through the swing, we don't see the fingers in his glove hand, ever. So he never gets a good rotation through. His timing was pretty good on this, his rhythm was pretty good, but the technique was lacking. So we're going to spend some time working on the technique, which is much easier work than working on the physicality of the swing. So it's going to be easier for him to learn how to swing with a nice, easy swing than it is swinging so hard to try to get the ball to do what he wants it to do.